All right guys, Justin Calor here with Triarii Fitness. So today we're gonna do a beginner total body workout. I'm gonna take you through something that my clients can do in kind of their off days when they're not with me, or if you're just starting out, you're completely new to exercise, this would be a great total body circuit. It hits all the muscles, hence total body. So you can do it multiple times a week. We're gonna go into a couple more things as the videos progress. On the next video, we'll do an intermediate and then we'll do an advanced series of this. But for today, just absolute beginner. Let's go and get started and see how this goes. All right, so for the first exercise, we're gonna do a squat to curl to overhead press with the dumbbells. Really incorporates everything. So integrating your total body all together, make sure feet are straight. And for squatting, I like to pretty much keep my feet about shoulder width apart. If I drew a line from my shoulder, my hip, my knee, my toe, it all pretty much makes a nice straight line, so connect the dots. All we're doing here, nice, simple squat. We're curling into an overhead press, and this is gonna be our first exercise in the circuit. All those we're doing about 8 to 12 reps. All right, so for the second exercise, we're just doing an incline push-up. Remember, this is our beginner series, so if you need to make it higher, you can, or a little bit lower will be fine too. A couple things, make sure our core squeezed and our glutes squeezed. I don't wanna have my butt way up in the air or have my hips drop super low in this. I wanna have, kind of like we're doing a plank. I wanna squeeze my glutes nice and tight, squeeze my core nice and tight, and we're just doing presses. All right, and the last thing in this first circuit, we're just doing bent dumbbell rows. So leaning forward, make sure we're squeezing our core. One thing with these, try not to arch your back when you're doing this too much. I actually try to engage and squeeze my core and have as flat of a back as I possibly can. So we're here, core squeeze and engage, and I'm pulling with my back. I'm trying not to do a curl with my arms. I'm trying to be here and just use my back to pull the dumbbells up.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Catch me howling at the moon.
All right, so for the second circuit, we're gonna start with a dumbbell chest press. We're gonna do this laying on our back on the floor. You could use a bench. Starting out for my intro clients, I really like laying on the floor because it's really easy to see if you put your elbows up too high or if they're close to your side. And it's a really good indicator if you're kind of pinching those shoulder blades back in the other like we should be, or if you're kind of rounding them forward, all the things we don't want. So I'm gonna be laying flat on my back, my knees are bent, kind of like I'm doing a bridge on the floor. I'm taking both my shoulders and I'm gonna glue them to the floor. Almost the middle of my back should be pretty much off the ground. My spine really shouldn't be touching towards between my shoulder blades. So I'm laying back, sitting here, like we were talking about. First thing I do is pull those shoulder blades down and back, and this is what I was talking about as far as the spine not really touching the ground, and then I'm just going through my presses. And what we were talking about with the shoulders, if you bring your elbows way up here, you'll get a lot of shoulder impingement, which is what we don't want. So make sure we're keeping the elbows a little close to your side. Better to have them too close to your side than too far up and get shoulder impingement. All right, so right after I get done with the supine dumbbell press, I'm gonna flip over, I'm gonna do planks. If you're a complete beginner to planks, I'm gonna actually have you start with your shoulders already up. With that, first thing you're gonna do is squeezing the glutes. Well, first thing you're gonna do is curl your toes under you as much as you can. After that, I'm squeezing my glutes and squeezing my core. When you do those two things, if you're here completely relaxed, once I squeeze glutes and core, you should already feel your back straighten out and your core kind of lift up off the ground. So once I do that, I'm coming up. If you've done planks before, I'm gonna have you start all the way down. So from here, we're starting all the way down flat and then squeezing and up. All right, so now we're transitioning to the back exercises, just old school, typical dumbbell, one arm row, nice supported position. When you do this, try not to have your shoulders so far up near your ear. I like to actually rotate mine back. I'm engaging my core. I'm not arching again, and I'm not like Halloween cat where you push your back straight up. I wanna have it nice and flat. So I'm just here. Once again, make sure we're pulling with our back. We're not pulling with our arm. It's here, squeezing, and I'm pulling with my back. All right, and the last exercise in this second circuit is just gonna be a nice split squat. So from here, I like to, when I'm looking in the mirror or when I'm lining myself up, I have the inside of my feet in line. So what that means, as I'm here, my feet are pretty much in line. I'm not stacked too far across and I'm not too open wide. So I wanna have my feet nice and stacked, pretty much straight. So from there, I'm just going straight down and straight back up, squeezing my glutes to come up. When I go down, I don't want my heel to lift on my front foot. If your heel lifts up, it means you're coming too far this way, and this puts a lot of pressure on that knee. If we go straight down, you'll feel a little bit of a hip flexor stretch maybe, and then coming straight up, straight down, squeezing my glutes at the top. We just don't want to be here. All right, third final circuit in this beginner kind of total body workout. All I'm starting with is band curls. So I want to make sure I keep my shoulders glued back, chest up, shoulder blades glued together, shoulders down. Try not to, everybody tends to want to do this and trying to pull their shoulders back. Easy way to do it is put your shoulders up and forward as far as you can, and then bring them just the exact opposite, down and back as far as you can. You should have a nice pinch between your shoulder blades. Elbows just by my side, and from there, I'm just curling up. And what I'm trying not to do when I curl is I'm trying not to curl here and then come up. That is part of your bicep, two muscles in the bicep. So hence bi, yeah, haha. So when I curl, I'm not worried about this side of it. That is a motion of it, but we're not worried about that today. We're trying to keep our elbows by our side. Just do nice, simple curls. All right, so right after I get done doing the curls, I'm going into a band row right after that. Reason I'm doing the band row right after, I've already fatigued the bicep a little bit. So once the bicep is kind of tired, I like to use my back. It's kind of a typical during my pull days. Anytime I do it, I like to fatigue my arms as much as possible and then do back. That way I just feel like I get more activation, because when you tend to do your rows, everybody wants to use your arms. So if they're fatigued already, you're forced to use the back, the rhomboids, mid-lower traps. So that's how we're kind of doing in this series. So backing up here from this band, just keep a nice neutral grip, and I'm just pulling straight back. Again, pulling my shoulder blades together. I'm not starting here, starting my chest out, shoulders down and back. Nice, good pulls, pulling the shoulder blades together. And for the third exercise, since we just worked everything pulling, getting in a push, for this, doing band tricep push downs. So standing up nice and straight, elbows by my side, shoulders back, same as we've been doing. And I'm just pushing straight down, squeezing triceps much as I can. And last thing, because it is total body, we have goblet squats. Can't forget about the legs. Everybody tends to want to skip legs, but we can't. Nice and straight, lined up. You can use a dumbbell or you can use a kettlebell, and you can hold a dumbbell whichever way you choose, whatever is kind of more comfortable. So either holding it this way, or you can hold it this way if you have larger hands. This is kind of more controlled. Everybody tends to not like this so much, but I do, especially when we're using heavier weights. So holding here, elbows are down, keep my back nice and straight. Good form squats. And I actually like to go down pretty much to where my elbows touch my knees. And if you get extremely exhausted when you're doing this with heavy weights, you can pretty much stop and rest. All right, guys, that's gonna be the beginner kind of intro, like I said, starter workout for total body. All those circuits, there's 3 different circuits. The first one has 3 exercises, second one has 4, third one has 4 exercises. We're gonna go through 3 total rounds. So do your first circuit, do 3 rounds of it. Take about a minute, 2 minutes rest in between, depending on your cardiovascular level. If you're just absolutely gassed out after a minute, take a little bit longer. We're not taking 5 minutes between rounds. So somewhere between minute to 2 minutes between rounds, do the 3 circuits, or do the 3 exercises in the first circuit, then we're moving on to the second circuit, same thing. Take about a minute, 2 minutes, do all the exercise. It is total body, so we're working everything. If this was kind of my beginner client coming in and say they were seeing me 1 day a week, I would have them do something like this for their, say if they came and saw me on Mondays, I would have them do something like this on Wednesdays and Fridays. So this is definitely something you could do 3 days a week. It's gonna get kind of boring, which is why we like to switch it up and do the programming for different exercises. But you could absolutely do this 3 days a week. We're not gonna be overtraining. We're gonna have rest days in between. We get 48 hours before we hit the same muscle group. So it's gonna be something that works really well for us. So try this out. Leave in the comments down below. Let me know how this goes for you. If there's anything kind of you have questions on as far as the exercises, I'll be sure to get back to y'all on that. And then be sure to like the video, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon so you can get notifications when we do videos like this in the future. Next one coming up for us is gonna be that intermediate circuit. So those of you that have been working out for a couple years, want something a little bit more advanced, that's what we're gonna do for the intermediate one, and then we have a more advanced one coming after that with a lot of balance and a lot of stability. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe like I said. See you guys next time.